Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Suzanne and Sarah YouTube channel. I'm Suzanne.
And I'm Sarah.
And today we are going to talk to you about the BRRRR strategy. This is an investment strategy. We're going to break it down to the 5 easy steps of buying, renovating, renting, refinancing, and repeating the process over and over so that you can create more passive income from real estate. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Suzanne and Sarah YouTube channel. I'm Suzanne Moore.
And I'm Sarah Willis. We are Central Oregon's investment and real estate experts.
So as I said, I'm Suzanne Moore. I am a realtor in Central Oregon with Realty One Group Discovery here in Bend. And we also have our Central Oregon Investor Network, which is a network to connect investors from all over the country and specifically in Central Oregon to learn more about real estate investing.
And I'm Sarah Willis. Suzanne Moore and I are partners, and we focus on investment real estate, and we are located in Central Oregon, but we help people all over the state of Oregon and this country. We've got a QR code here. You're going to want to hold your phone up to it, take a screenshot. This is the best way to get in touch with us. We make content weekly. We publish YouTube videos on Central Oregon lifestyle topics, as well as investment strategies for new and seasoned investors alike. We also send out a weekly top picks email where we scour the Central Oregon market and bring Ben's best deals straight to your inbox.
Excellent. All right. You want to take us through the agenda, Sarah?
Yeah, for sure. So as Suzanne talked about, we are covering the BRRRR strategy today, which is one of my personal favorites. The 5 easy steps to BRRRR is buy, renovate, rent, and we'll go into detail on the 4 steps of renting. Then you refinance and you repeat.
Cool. Let's get right into it. So what is the BRRRR strategy? Sarah pretty much just outlined it for you right there in the agenda. It's pretty simple. It stands for buy, renovate, rent, refi, and repeat. So sometimes people add an R, sometimes they take away an R. The way I remember what BRRRR means is just making some cold hard cash. So that is how I consider the BRRRR strategy. It's super popular. It's a great entry point to real estate investing because you use that your initial chunk investment you put into this property, you refinance, and you get out and you do another one. So that's the whole idea behind it. But we're going to talk to you a little bit more in detail about how this all comes to life.
So first, we're going to talk terminology, right? Yep. So in order to get a hang of this, you need to learn a few terms. ARV is one thing you'll hear, which is just simply after repair value. MAO has to do with the maximum allowable offer that we will calculate in order for you to offer on a home in order to turn over and make money in the end. And then the 70% rule, which is just simply taking your estimated after repair value. So after repair value, you're looking at comparable homes on the market that are currently selling, what your home is going to look like after you've done the repairs. Multiply it by 70% minus your repair costs, and that spits out the maximum allowable offer that you want to set as a hard and fast rule for yourself in making offers on these homes.
Perfect. That's a great intro. We'll get into some specific examples here in just a second. All right. So step 1 of the 5 steps to the BRRRR strategy is you got to buy something, your property purchase. And the really important part about this phase of the process is you work backward. And what I mean by that is you're going to be looking at tons of deals. So you're going to be analyzing deals. We have another video on deal analysis that will really help you figure out how to do that. So essentially, you want to be calculating what you think this property will be worth after you've done all your renovations. So you have to estimate what someone's going to pay for it in 6, 9 months from now. You're not selling it, but you have to estimate what it would appraise for, right? So you have to figure out your ARV. You also want to estimate your repair cost. If this is your first time doing a BRRRR, it's going to be a little harder because you're not going to know these numbers like the back of your hand, but there's great resources out there. If you know a contractor, ask them. If you know another flipper or BRRRR person, ask them. And of course, you can always reach out to us where we'd be happy to give you some estimates as well. So those numbers are going to help you calculate your maximum offer price. So the whole idea behind BRRRR and flipping also is buying low. So making sure that you're, getting value in this property, and then adding value, that's your repairs, and then appraising high because you need it to appraise high so you can pull your money back out, right? So sometimes when you calculate your maximum allowable offer, you'll find that it's below the asking price that the seller wants. We'll give you an example of this in just a second. And, sometimes you might be like, whoa, like this is way too low. I don't want to lowball these sellers. Well, it never hurts to offer. It costs you nothing to offer. And sometimes, especially if you have cash, you can move quickly, close quickly. Sometimes cash will close a deal where your offer is way below what the seller is asking for. So I'm just going to give you an example of a property that we sold in La Pine, Oregon recently. So the asking price was $225,000. We helped our clients calculate the after repair value of $350,000. So right in there is a spread of $125,000, right? We calculated together with our client that we thought the repairs would be about $42,000. So when we're doing our math, we're taking the ARV, $350,000 times 70%, that comes to $245,000. Then we back out the expenses for renovation, which is $42,000. That left us with a maximum allowable offer of $202,000. So the asking price was $225,000. Our MAO came in at $202,000. So there's a pretty big difference there, approximately $45,000. Buyer ended up offering even lower than his maximum allowable offer. He offered $180,000 cash. This was a motivated seller. They had never lived in the property. They inherited it, didn't want anything to do with it, just wanted their money and ran. And so they got it for $45,000 below the asking price. So it is possible. Not every time. Definitely got to be making a lot of offers and analyzing a lot of deals, but that's just a great example that recently happened for us and our clients in the La Pine area.
Yep. All right, that was a good one. Okay, so next step in the BRRRR process is renovate. So this is when it's time to sharpen your pencils and get your tools out, right? So you need to decide for yourself, are you going to do it yourself or hire a contractor? It really doesn't matter. It's up to you. It just really depends on your budget and timeline. The most important part of the step is estimating the impact of your renovations, okay? So basically, return on investment is just so important here. This is when we're looking at the difference between a business decision and an emotional decision. And what I mean by this is, you may really love, the Italian marble, but is that really what everybody needs and wants in the situation? The quartz is just going to do just fine and is a lot more impactful for a wider audience and for your budget. Also focusing on these high impact spaces that are going to get you the best bang for your buck when it comes to resale value, and also those things that buyers are really focused on having finished and upgraded when they are buying a new space. And the best example of those places are your kitchen and bathrooms, the roof, your HVAC systems, and any additional living spaces. So the success in your BRRRR strategy really lies in making decisions and renovations that appeal to a broad audience.
True. All right, we're going to move on to step 3, renting out your property. So this is when you become a landlord. And this is a part of the process that people sometimes just glaze over. We're going to give you a few quick tips to landlord life. This will be another entire video on landlording 101, but just getting you started here with what you can expect from the middle point of your BRRRR strategy. So as a landlord, you worked really hard on renovating this property, and now you've got to set a price. How much do you want to charge for rent? Good places to start if you've never done this before is to look at Zillow rentals and see what other properties are renting for in your area. Another great source is to check out rentometer.com. They've got a free package. You do have to sign up, but great way to just kind of get an idea of, whether your rent is too low, too high, or just right there in the middle. The next one, you've got to write your description. A really good description makes a huge difference because you want to be highlighting the key features that are going to attract people to your space. You've obviously just spent a ton of time and money renovating it to make it nice. So you want to talk about that. You want to talk about the updated kitchen and, the brand new bathroom that no one's ever used before, and the beautiful outdoor space you just created, and, how there's a fenced yard for those properties, that are pet friendly. Those types of things are really going to be important to attract the kind of tenant that you're looking for. Next up is marketing. So you've determined your price, you've got a description written. Where are you going to put this? How are you going to get it out into the world? Well, you can always use your own network. So, your own social media as well to market your property. Another great place to do this, of course, is Zillow Rentals. They have a great platform for marketing your rental, getting applications directly from prospective tenants, screening them, the whole deal. Another one that I've used in the past is apartments.com. That's a great way to market your property and also then transition that into a lease, and the whole system is there. And then after that, you've selected your tenants. You want to do your due diligence in that process. Make sure you're checking references, checking credit, checking criminal history. Once you're satisfied with that, you're writing up a lease. And there's lots of different ways to do this. We've got that covered in another video for you. But the main takeaway on this last section of landlording is make sure you know the landlord tenant laws for your area if you want to be a DIY landlord. If you don't, hire a property manager. They need to know that stuff, and they will.
The time we've all been waiting for, you've put all this time and money into your project, and it's time to refinance, leverage your asset, pull equity out of it, and do this project again, do it again. So extracting your equity, you can do a cash out refinance. So generally, lenders are going to want to see that you've owned the home for at least 6 months and that it's been rented consistently for that time as well. They're going to, analyze your lease agreements and make sure that you're generating cash flow for the property. When you pull money out of your house, you're going to want to have added obviously enough value to pull money out and do this project again, but you're also going to want to be able to leave in 20 to 25% of equity after you pull your cash out. So this is, and again, just another good example of why it's important to be conservative in your estimates, and make sure that you're really focusing on those areas that are going to gain you the greatest value when it comes to doing another appraisal. So also just something that you are going to need to keep in mind is that you're gonna have to budget in those lender fees that are included in refinancing. So you're going to have to pay for the appraisal, which usually costs like $800 to $1,000, and also lender fees. How they make their money. So estimating a couple $1,000s for that process as another thing to put into your budget. So you're really just counting on this appraisal for coming in significantly higher than you bought this house for.
That is the goal. Yep. That's where you really want to focus. You can also provide comps to the appraiser when they come to the property. You can provide them the things that you use to calculate your ARV. Sometimes they use that in their analysis, and that's definitely to your benefit to help them do their jobs by providing them with some resources as well. So the appraisal absolutely is key. That is going to determine how much money you get back out so you can do step 5 of the BRRRR strategy, which is to repeat. This is when you put things on autopilot. You've already built your team. You've got your process, you know how to analyze a deal. You've got contractors, you know how to, organize all the work. And, this is super important for your last step. So repeating everything again, you want to celebrate your wins. You want to leverage your lessons and mistakes that you made and set yourself up for doing it all again, and making sure that you've got the money in hand. Continue to overestimate how much things are going to cost, because as we all know, costs continue to go up. Continue to be generous with your timelines, especially if you're doing it yourself, and make sure that you're finishing that last 5%. That's what it's all about. So that is the BRRRR strategy.
All right, thanks for sticking with us through this video. It was a short and sweet one. It's really helpful to us if you like this video and hit subscribe. Again, I'm Sarah Willis, realtor with Realty One Group in beautiful Bend, Oregon. And we've also got
Suzanne Moore, realtor with Realty One Group in lovely Central Oregon. Just want to thank you all so much for joining us today, for learning the BRRRR strategy in 5 easy steps, and stay tuned for more videos.
See you guys next time.